Picture this. Two neighboring countries locked in a fierce standoff, with bullets flying and lives lost over disputed borders and accusations of intrusion. That's the explosive reality hitting Afghanistan and Pakistan head-on, and it's drawing the world's attention. But here's where it gets controversial. Claims of massive casualties from one side clash with outright denials from the other, leaving us to wonder whose version of events is closer to the truth. In a bold announcement from Kabul, Afghanistan's Taliban-led government declared on Sunday that its forces had taken out 58 Pakistani soldiers during retaliatory strikes overnight. This came as a direct response to what they described as ongoing breaches of their sovereign territory and airspace by Pakistani forces. To put this in perspective for beginners, think of it like a homeowner defending their property against repeated trespasses. Except here, it's nations with armies involved, and the stakes involve lives and regional stability. Just days before this escalation, Afghan officials pointed fingers at Pakistan for allegedly bombing their capital, Kabul, and a marketplace in the eastern part of the country. Links to that incident can be found in related reports. But Pakistan has steadfastly refused to take credit for the attack, creating a web of he said, she said that fuels the tension. Afghanistan's top spokesperson, Zabihullah Mujahid, elaborated during a press briefing in Kabul that not only were 58 soldiers killed, but Afghan troops also seized 25 Pakistani military outposts, leaving 30 more soldiers injured. He emphasized that the situation along Afghanistan's official and unofficial borders is now firmly in check, with unlawful activities mostly thwarted. Of course, Pakistan hasn't issued any immediate verification of these figures, which adds another layer of intrigue. It's like watching a high-stakes chess game where each move claims victory. Pakistan, for its part, has a history of launching strikes into Afghanistan, often targeting remote, rugged areas they claim house militant groups. These operations aren't new. Previous examples include air raids aimed at suspected hideouts in mountainous terrains, as detailed in past coverage. The two nations have exchanged fire along their shared frontier before, but these Saturday night clashes stand out for their intensity, highlighting how deeply frayed the security ties between them have become. Afghanistan's defense ministry chimed in early the next morning, framing their actions as retaliatory and successful operations. They warned that if Pakistan dares to cross lines again, Afghan armed forces stand ready to protect their borders with an even tougher comeback. And this is the part most people miss. Such declarations could easily spiral into a full-blown conflict, especially with global powers watching closely. The fallout extends beyond the battlefield. Key trade crossings, like the Torkham border, which serves as one of the primary routes for goods between the two countries, remain shut Sunday, missing its usual 8 a.m. opening. The Chaman crossing faced the same fate, disrupting not just commerce, but the livelihoods of traders who rely on these paths. For context, imagine it's like closing a major highway during rush hour, but with economic and humanitarian ripples that affect everyday people on both sides. At the heart of the dispute are mutual accusations. Pakistan accuses Afghanistan of sheltering fighters from Tehreek-i-Taliban Pakistan, TTP, a group banned for orchestrating deadly assaults within Pakistan. Islamabad insists these militants operate freely across the border, posing a direct threat. Kabul vehemently rejects this, asserting that they never permit their soil to be a launchpad for attacks on neighbors. This back and forth is classic international relations drama, where one country's safe haven is another's terrorist base, a gray area that often defies clear-cut answers. Before Afghanistan shared its casualty reports, Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif blasted the incident, praising his nation's army for delivering a fitting response to Afghan provocations. He claimed they demolished multiple Afghan positions, compelling a retreat. It's a stark counter-narrative that underscores the divide, and one has to ask, could both sides be exaggerating to save face? Or is there real evidence buried under the rhetoric? Adding to the global chorus, Saudi Arabia's foreign ministry urged calm late Saturday, pleading for restraint, de-escalation, and wise dialogue to safeguard regional peace. This call comes at a time when Saudi Arabia has recently inked a defense agreement with Pakistan, reportedly placing the kingdom under Islamabad's nuclear protection amid tensions with Israel. It's a reminder of how these border woes intertwine with broader geopolitics, potentially drawing in allies and complicating resolutions. A Pakistani security insider, who spoke anonymously to avoid official backlash, revealed that Afghan troops initiated gunfire across several northwestern border spots in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, hitting areas like Chitral, Bajor, Momand, Angkor Ada, and Kurram. Pakistani forces, they said, retaliated fiercely with heavy artillery near Tira in Khyber and into Afghanistan's Nangarhar province. This tit-for-tat illustrates the volatile nature of their 2,611-kilometer, about 1,622-mile shared border, officially called the Durand Line, a historical partition drawn by colonial powers that Afghanistan has never officially accepted. For those new to this, the Durand Line is like an old contested fence between properties. Afghanistan views it as invalid, arguing it was imposed unfairly, which fuels ongoing disputes over sovereignty and control. As this story unfolds, it's hard not to see the potential for broader implications. But here's where the controversy really heats up. Is Afghanistan's claim of 58 killed soldiers a justified defense or propaganda? And could Pakistan's reluctance to confirm casualties be hiding their own losses? Or are they simply dismissing Afghan assertions? What if the real issue isn't just militants or borders, but a deeper rivalry rooted in history and power? Do you think international mediation, like the Saudi appeal for dialogue, stands a chance in cooling things down? Or are we headed for even more clashes? Is military might the only language these nations understand? Or could economic incentives, such as reopening trade routes, pave the way for peace? Share your opinions in the comments. Do you side with Afghanistan's retaliation, Pakistan's stance, or call for a neutral third-party intervention? Let's discuss. Contributing to this report were Associated Press journalists Sajjad Tariqzai from Islamabad and John Gambrell from Cairo.